Good morning. Happy Friday, November 15th. This is Wake Up with KERA News. I'm Shardae White. It's going to be clear and sunny throughout most of the weekend. There's a chance of showers and thunderstorms on Sunday that'll lead us into next week. Temperatures will hover around the low to mid 70s. Sometimes cooking for Thanksgiving doesn't go as expected. Coming up, we'll hear professional advice on how to avoid culinary disasters this holiday season. First, let's get into today's news. Users who want to sue the social media platform X can now only do so in a federal district that includes North Texas. That's according to the social media platform's new terms of service that take effect today. X announced it would move its headquarters near Austin, but the company hasn't shown a connection to North Texas. Federal Judge Reed O'Connor of Fort Worth owns stock in Tesla and has presided over two of Musk's lawsuits. Because X and Tesla are separate companies, that may or may not raise questions of O'Connor's impartiality, according to Texas A&M professor Milan Markovich. There's growing concern in Texas about a shortage of geriatricians available to provide care to elderly folks. Those doctors are specialized in managing the complex illnesses and medical needs of older adults. Dr. Rena Matthews is program director at John Peter Smith Hospital in Fort Worth, and she says it's difficult to recruit medical students to the Geriatric Medicine Fellowship. But she's working to provide the training to other medical residents, like those in primary care. She says federal funding could also grow interest in geriatric medicine. Believe it or not, Thanksgiving is around the corner, and it's on the minds of family foodies and home cooks alike. KERA's producer Therese Powell and host Andrew Garcia spoke with a local chef to get some tips on how to avoid Thanksgiving cooking mishaps.
So, Therese, you told me you aren't much of a cook?
No, Andrew, I can cook, but let's just say cooking isn't my happy place. And in fact, I am the designated napkin getter at our Thanksgiving gatherings.
Very important. Well, I happen to love to cook, but I'm certainly no chef. And the first time I hosted Thanksgiving with my family, I made quite a few mistakes. So you and I enlisted some professional help.
My name is Daniel Alvarenga. I am a sous chef at Joey Dallas.
So we spoke with Chef Daniel at the cooking demonstration he has every Monday at the Dallas Arboretum.
So, we're going to get started today with our banana bread pumpkin mousse trifle.
And we asked him about the times he ran into some Thanksgiving problems.
We used to do turkeys back at the Four Seasons, and we had these two big Blodgett ovens, and we would only do 4 turkeys at a time. And one day, we actually started a little too late, and we needed our oven for our cookies. So we ended up having to run all the way across the street to the hotel side and having to use their oven.
So this brings us to tip number 1. That's be prepared. Make a plan, start early, schedule out your oven time.
If you're making a Thanksgiving turkey, right, you want to start that early in the morning.
Daniel then told us about a Thanksgiving where he was cooking bacon-wrapped stuffed jalapenos for his family.
Ooh, that sounds good.
But he tragically burned the bacon.
Oh no!
I know, right? Horrible. So he thought very quickly, took the charred bacon off, and blended up the stuffed jalapenos into a cheesy dip instead. So tip number 2 is to be flexible. Not only will it save you from potential disaster, it could inspire you.
Being able to pivot off of something you're making is really good because then you get to experiment. You get to find new tastes. It's, just creativity at its finest.
Walking around the outskirts of the kitchen taking video is Daniel's fiancée, Haley Scontrino.
She has her own baking YouTube channel, and the banana bread and pumpkin mousse trifle at the cooking demonstration was actually her recipe.
Which was very tasty.
And that leads us to our third tip. This one is for baking specifically. Know your oven.
I had a really bad oven for a while, and so that messed up a lot of my bakes. It would just bake unevenly. It was either way too cold and it would just never bake, or it was too hot and it would burn it. So the oven definitely affects your baking. It might not even be you.
I really like this one because I am horrible at baking, and it's good to know that it might just be my oven's fault.
Exactly. That's tip 3.5, deflect blame. So that brings us to tip number 4. know when to call it quits.
It kind of sounds like you're speaking from a bit of experience here.
Well, yes, I am. One year, my friend and I invited a bunch of people over for a Friendsgiving, and we started the turkey early, like you're supposed to do.
Tip number 1.
Yeah. And then, but about 3 hours later, we thought, hey, shouldn't we be smelling delicious turkey smells by now? And that's when we discovered, hey, the oven is off. And so my friend's solution was, let's just throw everything in the oven, casseroles and everything in the oven, and then just crank the heat all the way up.
Well, yeah, that sounds scary. Like, especially since your turkey's probably going to take 6 hours when your casserole is going to take, an hour, 2 hours at most? Yeah, really try avoiding cooking everything together.
And now we've learned, don't cook everything all at once on full blast.
And hey, there's always takeout.
That was KERA's Therese Powell and Andrew Garcia with tips from Chef Daniel Alvarenga. The Stars defeated the Bruins last night with a score of 7-2, while the Utah Jazz eked out a win over the Mavs. Final score, 115-113. The Mavs and Stars play again on Saturday. Witness the fusion of art and technology at the Aurora Biennial this weekend. This year's theme is Future, Present, Past, and will be the largest free art exhibition in Dallas. For more information and other things to do, visit kera.org/calendar. Thanks so much for listening to Wake Up with KERA News. Our host is Andrew Garcia. This show is produced and edited by me, Shardae White, and Bekah Morr. For more news in your inbox, visit kera.org/wakeup. There, you can subscribe to the Wake Up with KERA newsletter. You'll get good morning vibes and more from our colleague, Katherine Hobbs. Connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at KERATX. Have a lovely weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.